Chat, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. My back hurts. What the fuck? How's life? We coming in with a hot start. Hello, hello. Hey, Crystal Face, how you doing? Outer Wild Switchport. Fuck yeah, let's go. I gotta say, few things in this painful, terrible world filled with horrible things constantly. Few things makes me happier than anytime any Outer Wilds news happens, people think of me. People fucking think of me. I'll be honest, the port doesn't look great. But if the Switch is the only way you can play it, yeah, hell yeah. I'll probably get it just for fun. Might be fun to do it portably. Doesn't seem like the ideal way to play the game. I would still say the best way to play the game is going to be on your computer with a gamepad, wearing headphones. But, you know, not everyone has that capability. So it's good stuff. Good stuff indeed. How is everyone today? Hello, hello, hello. I'm reading through hellos. PS4. You can play on PS4. I just think typically certain games I think really benefit from good sound, right? I don't know your TV setup. Maybe you have beautiful surround sound. You know, good for you then. But a lot of times, headphones are just gonna be better. Just working on draws, nice. Yeah, by the way, chat, if you like this picture, you see Crystal Face 64 in here? Crystal Face made this. The one you stare at most of the time as I stream. Having a hard time? Sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can dole out some chill vibes and help you out some with some positivity and hanging. On my lunch break, yeah. Hopefully I can provide some entertainment. With good headphone. Yeah, you need good headphone for sure. All right. Listen, chat. I'll be honest. No plan for today. I don't really have a challenge. I think the next challenge I want to do is racing my bud Wizawut in Mario. But it's gonna be a little while till that happens. Like next week. We like next week. I want to race Wizawut. Today though, I just figured we'd chill. Maybe I'll play something. I have a few business things I'd like to do. One of those talking about the Nintendo Direct. One of those also, I have an idea for my next bracket. I mentioned it last Tuesday when we did the last bracket, which was the best game of all time, and the winner was Breath of the Wild. Anyway, I have an idea for another bracket that I like to do, which is best song in games, like the best just individual song. And there's tons of reasons that we could choose what that song is, but I figured maybe it'd be fun if we spent like 30 minutes, an hour today. You can toss out some recommendations. We can don't toss them out now because that's not what we're doing right now. But toss out some recommendations. We can listen to some stuff, and I can start compiling the list because obviously I have my stuff that I think is great, but definitely would be interested to hear some of your favorite things. Triangle Tactics. Yeah. Triangle Tactics. All right, let me just. All right. Let's just pull it up. Let's just pull up the direct. Is there a full here? We don't want to listen to sound at the moment. Isn't there always don't I always have a problem when I do window captured? Here, let's see. Is this playing for you guys? Oh, is it even showing up on your screen? Okay, when I do full screen though, does it stop? Huh, interesting. I must have just been constantly fucking it up in the past. All right, okay. So yeah, let's talk about some of the cool shit from the Direct. I randomly clicked to this spot. I think this is pretty hype. Oh fuck. Sorry. I've always look. I'm pretty mid on Mario sports games. I think, granted, if I were to see anything, Mario Strikers would have been the thing to see. I would love that back. But like, yeah, you know, Mario Golf was always fun enough. When I saw this start, I was like, no shot am I getting this. But as soon as they introduced the speed golf aspect, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this. I think it probably has limited fun, right? Like I don't know how long I could do speed golf with friends. But here's the thing. You know, Nintendo is a weird one in that, like, the best Nintendo games come up with weird ideas. The best Nintendo games come up with weird ideas that you're like, why is this a mode? And then it's fun as fuck, right? You have like Kirby Air Ride. I think City Trial is a perfect example of that. City Trial for a lot of people became what the game is. Whereas like I think what they originally, because their main mode is called Air Ride, it's just supposed to be races. It was supposed to be like Mario Kart or some shit, right? But then they came up with this little City Trial mode, and talk to anyone who's played Kirby Air Ride. No one is out there being like, I love City. I love the Air Ride mode. It's all I love City Trial. So yeah, I hope Speed Golf is kind of like Mario Golf's City Trial. I don't know. I'll probably get it. If the Speed Golf is online, I'll get it for sure. If it's not, then I won't. It seems like it must be online though, right? It might not even be co-op at all. It might not even be couch co-op at all. What do you think of how they announced Outer Wilds? Here's the thing, Dis. I think that knowing the core mechanic of Outer Wilds is barely a spoiler. Like, sure, if you go into it not knowing the core mechanic and then see the core mechanic happen, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. But here's the thing. How do you sell a game? How do you sell a game without saying what it is? You know what I mean? How do you sell a game? Because just saying a space exploration game, I don't think is enough of a hook. You know? Because they even mentioned the core mechanic on the Steam page. You know what I mean? I do think people kind of blow out of proportion the knowing the main mechanic of Outer Wilds. Again, I think it's better. It like be fun if you don't, but I don't think that matters so much. Yeah, it would be a bummer if no couch co-op, but it kind of looks like there's not. But yeah, like it mentions the. I'm looking at the Steam page right now, and it mentions the core mechanic. So I don't know. It's like, how do you sell a game without mentioning it? I guess they didn't need to specifically talk about like what causes the whatever. I'm just gonna talk about. I'm not gonna futz around. If you haven't played Outer Wilds and know nothing about it, you know, mute or whatever. But you know, like maybe they didn't need to show this. But I think mentioning the time loop's fine.
Reset, allowing you to continue exploring while retaining information you gathered.
Like, I think it's cool. Like, if you can go in completely blind and know absolutely nothing, that's cool. And that would be a really cool experience. But you could say that with anything. You could say that with anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like, I don't know. I don't think knowing that's a spoiler. I think people who are saying that are being maybe a little too precious with it. Because it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. It's in the description. I don't know. I think I agree with that. I think they over-explained it. I'd be fine if they showed some of the mechanics, but like, yeah, the Nintendo voice guy being like blah 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 blah. Oh, and I was being too sensitive, huh? I think so, Dis. Maybe sensitive is the wrong word, but precious with it. And I get it. It's a precious game. You want people to enjoy it to the maximum capacity. But I'll tell you what, I knew the main mechanic going in. I knew it. I think 90% of the people who played Outer Wilds and loved Outer Wilds knew it. I think a small minority got to go in completely blind without knowing anything about that mechanic. Because that's the selling mechanic. You know what I mean? That is what sells it. I don't think that hurts the enjoyment of it. I think there are other things that can hurt the enjoyment of it, but yeah. Obviously, if you can experience it organically, that's great, but that's just not always the case. Someone asked a question earlier. I don't know if they're still here. About Doug. You still here? All right, let me change my... Here for your vibes. Come grab them. Come grab them. Come grab the vibes. I went in totally blind. I mean, some people did. It's fun seeing Nintendo. I'd seen something that I wanted to answer. Would I ever collab with Doug? Yeah. If he wants to collab, I'll collab. I love Doug. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know what a Rasputin Doug collab would look like. but Doug's a mutual. I'm a fan of his work, and I don't know. Stardew's good. Anyway, what did you all think of the Direct in general? I mean, a lot of ports. You all were saying this, you dug this shit. I love ports. I love some ports too. Did not like it. I was hoping for more. Yeah, so I think this game looks pretty hype. I think they really need to come up with a good name for it, for sure. A C-. Yeah, I mean, I guess I ranked it like a 7.5 out of 10, so. Wanted to hear about Breath of the Wild too. Yeah, I feel you. Didn't need to be 50 minutes. Yeah. So this is clearly made by the same studio who did Octopath, right? I mean, the art style is exactly the same. So I guess I don't know their name, but it's obviously the same people. And I think it's cool because it seems like the gameplay... Outer Wilds for Switch, baby! I think oh, the demo came out. Has anyone played the demo for it? Because didn't the demo come out right after the shit? Yeah, maybe they'll actually. So that's what I'm thinking. It seems like they've pared back the number of main characters, right? You had like 3 main characters, but obviously you have. No, I'm not. We're just kind of going through and talking about it. I watched it live. Obviously you have like more people that can be part of your tactics stream, which is cool. Oh, 4 people, yeah. Hopefully it's easier to mesh the stories. And hopefully also, I mean, I really actually liked the combat of Octopath. So that is a thing. Like, it seems like their story might be staying similar, but the combat's tactics, and maybe that's cool, and that could work really well. But I actually adored, like, I think the combat of Octopath was the best part. I mean, it was kind of Bravely Default, but tweaked a bit. Give me 1 second, I forgot to do something. Octopath combat took too long? What about it? What about the combat took too long? Were you just bad? Oh, after sure. I mean, yeah, they're different games. Change the combat. I mean, they might still be making Octopath 2, right? But yeah, I don't know. Tactics thing looks interesting, and they say that, you know, decisions that determine your conviction. I don't remember Octopath combat too much, so I don't know how much. I don't think much carries over, would be my guess. It is interesting that Octopath or this studio, I played like 5 hours, wasn't really my thing. But Raz, 5 hours isn't long enough to know if you like a game or not. You need to play for at least 70 hours before you can actually determine whether Persona 5 is good. And maybe. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think this looks interesting. I like tactics. I like that this studio is pretty much just like, hey, what if we copied other games? And that was just our game. Because Octopath is very much, I mean, obviously the aesthetic of this shit is so older Final Fantasies, which I'm excited. I like where we're coming back to this sprite aesthetic, and I like their tilt shift perspective. But the gameplay is just Bravely Default. The way the combat works, that is just Bravely Default, and here it seems like just Final Fantasy Tactics. Speaking of Bravely Default, where the fuck was it? Speaking of Bravely Default 2's coming out. February 26th. You should listen to Pinback Loro. Okay, cool. Got the same history that I have out with Holocene. Sweet. Thanks for the recommendation. How are we feeling about Bravely? Did any of you play Bravely Default? Persona 3 to 5 have like 10-hour boring ass openings, so you kind of do. Yeah, but if I have to invest 10 hours into a game just for it to get good, that's tough for me. So I wasn't gonna buy Bravely Default 2, but then I saw this trailer and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy Bravely Default 2. I think it looks really good. I really love the art style, and I think it looks slick. I love the combat of Bravely Default. I think the combat is incredible. And I love the job system of Bravely Default. That is one thing I forgot about from the original. I love the job system. I feel like so many games don't have good job systems. So many RPGs like this don't have good job systems. And Bravely Default kills it. Bravely Default had like my favorite first half of a game. First half of an RPG for sure. I shouldn't even say half, because it is more than half the game. There is a twist part of the way through that I think is tough that I think is not great and gets repetitive, but you know. You should speedrun stream with Doug. Maybe, I don't know. Doug, listen. Here's the thing. Doug's a bit busy dude. And Doug, I believe right now is on vacation-ish to try to help some of his sleep stuff. So I think his desire or ability to schedule things is low because he's working on himself and doing shit when he can and when he feels like it's right. So, maybe I listen. I would love to, goof around with Doug, but gotta be the right time. Bravely Games have the best game-breaking combos for jobs. I didn't play the other Bravely game, Bravely Second or whatever. Was that good? DC Superhero Girls. It was not made for me. I don't think that game's made for me. Breath of the Wild's opening was incredible. Yeah, for sure. I think Breath of the Wild, and Mitch Heavy-Eyed made a good video on it. It's just like, it is a microcosm of what the bigger game will be, and it teaches you stuff super quickly. I don't know. It's been slow for me, but like getting into other open world RPGs or just open world games can be pretty tough. Takes a long time. It takes like 4 hours. I don't know. I swear I was still getting tutorials in Red Dead 10 hours in. I know that can actually technically happen in Breath of the Wild too, but like tutorials that were important. Barely seconds. Okay. More jokey. I feel like Breath of the Wild system only really work at their best during the Great Plateau. I disagree. I disagree. Yeah, I think we'd have fun too. Yeah, once maybe he's hopefully feeling less stress and maybe has some time to schedule some stuff, that could be a lot of fun. I don't know what we would race, but I would be happy to. I would be happy to goof off in some capacity. He has been very kind to me through content creation stuff and making videos and all that, giving me some good advice. All right, yeah, Bravely Default 2 I think I'm gonna buy for sure. I'm kind of in the mood for, granted I have started like 6 games that I have not come close to finishing, so starting another big game that's a big RPG might be dumb. I'm kind of in the mood for a good old RPG. Ooh, lost my voice there. Kind of in the mood for a good old RPG. Yeah, I haven't even bought Age of... Ooh, I'm losing my fucking voice. Oh no. I have not even bought Age of Calamity yet. Fucking Christ. Thank you for the hydrate. We're in for a real one today. Made a video about modding or something. You could interview him like you did with Gerard. Yeah, for sure. I had a thought a while back of like a funny-ish April Fool's video. That I probably would have asked him about how he would do some stuff. But I think functionally it just wouldn't work. It would have been like having a Twitch chat compete against my wife in some game. But I think the reality at this point, my wife has enough skills in games and Twitch chat is just too uncoordinated where it wouldn't be really a competition. Thinking about picking up a Yakuza 7? Yeah. I heard it's good. What do we think of Ghosts and Goblins? What do you think of this art style? I feel like in still, it looks really good. But in motion, it looks dumb. Anyone have a free to play game? I don't know. Free to play stuff is tough. Geese and goblins. Yeah, someone asked me, by the way, earlier for must-play games. I'm sorry, I'm coming to stuff late here. Outer Wilds for sure is a must-play game if you haven't played it. Hollow Knight is a must-play game if you haven't played it. Warframe's free to play, cool. Hades, I think, is a must-play game. And all these are pretty cheap too. You can get them for like 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks. I'd say start with those three if you haven't. What Remains of Edith Finch, if you like story-based, narrative-based story games. What else was big? Animal Crossing added the pipes. Cool. This is cool. Pyre is better than Hades? I disagree. I like Pyre a lot, though. Hades, Outer Wilds, Hollow Knight. Those would be my recommendations. That's like... Between those three games, you can spend 60 bucks. You can spend 60 bucks. Or not even. Hollow Knight's like 15. Hades is 20. Outer Wilds might be 20. I don't know. Whatever. About 60 bucks. Look, I'm not an hour per dollar guy, but I know a lot of people are. Outer Wilds, you'll probably play for 20 some hours, and it'll be the most unique 20 hours you've ever spent with a game. Or at least it was for me. Ooh, Short Hike is incredible too. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you get like 20 hours of just exploring in a way you never have before, which is awesome. Or exploring in a way that will remind you of Breath of the Wild, but even more big. Like even more, not big, but even more player driven. Then you got Hollow Knight, which probably on a first playthrough will take, it's $15 and will take anywhere from like 25 to 40 hours with tons of replayability in terms of doing everything. And that's actually a pretty, I would not say the achievements in that game are great. I don't love all of them, but doing a lot of stuff is good. Like there's a lot of stuff that's worthwhile. I've not tried Disco Elysium yet, but I have plans to play it. So yeah, I mean, that's like 60 hours between those two games of good hours. And then there's Hades, which like, I played for 100 hours. So I don't know, 3 games, 60 bucks, all really good. Like three of my favorite games ever, to be honest. I mean, Outer Wilds, you know, but Hollow Knight's been moving up the list, and Hades is probably in my top 20. Hades is probably in my top 20 games right now. So if you're looking for must plays that are good values, Hollow Knight, Outer Wilds, and Hades. Anyway, Animal Crossing, the pipe thing was cool, but fuck Animal Crossing. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm never gonna play it again. Anything good over here? People were pretty hyped about the Secret of Mana stuff. This looked cool, right? It's like you make the world. What's the best game stream? Yeah. This seems really... Is this new or a remake? Hey, Spirit. You ever play poker? Yeah. Poker is not really worth your money. Remake? Okay. This is what the original game was like? That's rad. Hey, Mitch. My favorite game right now, I'm going to just say, is Outer Wilds. It's been Breath of the Wild at time. And sometimes Shadow of the Colossus. But I think, so for me, it's like this constant triangle. Since I played Outer Wilds, it's this triangle of Outer Wilds, Shadow of the Colossus, and Breath of the Wild. But but Shadow of the Colossus is definitely the one of those three that is my favorite the least. You know what I mean? Like if we have 7 days a week, it's like 3 of those days goes to Outer Wilds. If we have 7 days in a week. So 3 of those days often goes to Outer Wilds. 3 of those days often goes to Breath of the Wild. And 1 of them goes to Shadow of the Colossus. Does that make sense? But I'd say it's been leaning more towards Outer Wilds recently. And I think part of that, honestly, is that I love Mobius Digital, and I am, by the day, hating Nintendo more and more. Just fucking hating Nintendo more and more. The games I can't replay, Triangle. Yep. Anyway, this looks cool. This looks like a really cool idea. I like the idea that you are exploring some sort of world and you are the one laying it out. It kind of reminds me in some ways of another game I haven't played that had a kind of similar mechanic, maybe, but you all will probably tell me it wasn't similar at all. In Dark Cloud. I know that was different, but what makes you hate Nintendo? All right, so we have two Nintendos, right? See you, Spirit. Thanks for hanging. You have two Nintendos. Oh. Was that for someone else, Spirit? But yeah, anyway, Odin Sphere. No, I meant Dark Cloud. I mean, Dark Cloud's all about like customization, but I think it may be less of creating worlds. I don't know. I haven't played it. I've just seen some clips and been like, that's cool. Anyway, why do I hate Nintendo? Or why is Nintendo annoying the fuck out of me? You have two Nintendos. You have your best friend Nintendo, right? Who has made all of your favorite games, who came out in 2017 and was like, hey, here is the best Zelda game we've made. It's different than the others, and you know, you can always go back to play those, but here you go. And they're like, hey, here's a Mario game that some of you might think is the best ever, but it's a love letter to Mario. Here are two incredible games, right? And even they're like, hey, Splatoon, here's Splatoon 2. They give you great games. They are a great developer. They know how to make good games. They take big risks that people get mad about, and then are like, these are the best games ever. You know what I mean? If you go back and look at some of the risks Nintendo has taken and seen the responses to it, people are always super fucking mad, and then they're like, this game's good. So you have your best friend developer Nintendo, right? Who's like, ha ha ha, we love you. We want you to have so much fun while playing games. We want you to feel connected. We want you to remember us, right? We are gonna make games that respect you, that respect your interests, and that challenge you. And then you have the other side of it, which is asshole Uncle Nintendo, who's come over for the weekend but has indefinitely stayed there. And you trick yourself into thinking asshole Uncle Nintendo is gonna leave at any moment. You're like, yeah, Uncle's only staying here for a weekend. Mom and Dad will be like, yeah, it's time for you to get out, you know? I'm changing it back I'm changing it from best friend Nintendo to mom and dad Nintendo. The developers are mom and dad Nintendo. They're trying to nurture you, give you good. We're changing the metaphor. Okay. You have mom and dad Nintendo who make the games, and then asshole Uncle Nintendo who you think isn't sticking around. You think he's gonna leave. But then you realize that asshole Uncle Nintendo is actually your dad. He's actually your dad, and he's the one in charge. And every decision he's making, it's out of your control, and it's out of the developer's control. And he owns the house, right? Okay, maybe he's not your dad, but asshole Uncle Nintendo owns the house. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't care. I'm getting lost in my metaphor. Yeah, my analogy. No. It's not that confusing. You have the corporate side of the Nintendo that we're always like, okay, this isn't the identity of Nintendo. The identity of Nintendo are the games. It's the developers. But it's not. It's not. We think that at any time the corporate side of Nintendo will come to their senses, but they won't. They won't, because they are like stuck in their certain ways, and they want to have a stranglehold on their media in a way similar to Disney and Apple. Joseph Anderson had a tweet that popped the fuck off, which is never forget that Nintendo is the Disney and Apple of video games. And as much as that fucking hurts to say, it's true. The corporate side of Nintendo, like, is trying to milk your nostalgia for every penny it's worth. And Skyward Sword, the Skyward Sword remake, the HE remake, is going to be $60 at release. I have no idea what they're going to change. Obviously, they have added a way to play without motion controls, which, cool. I don't know if they're going to change much else beside that. But the game is going to be $60 at release. A port from the Wii. And it's just like, you want to know why they do that? Because they can get away with it. And you want to know how they know they can get away with it? Is because they constantly get away with it. It's because they packaged shitty versions of 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine, sold it for $60, and people bought it. I don't know. I'll defend, and maybe I'm a Nintendo simp for this. I'll defend them. I'll defend Link's Awakening remake being 60. I'll defend that. Because like they did rework it from the ground up. I don't have a huge problem with that. It looked entirely new. Sure, it was based on other, it had like, the game was already designed, you know, which is good. But you know, like, that probably saved them some time, but they did so much, so I'm fine with something like that being 60. Skyward Sword launched for 50. Did it launch for 50? Oh yeah, that's true. Wii games used to be $50. That used to be the big thing, is Nintendo games were $10 cheaper than PlayStation 3 games. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. So you are buying Skyward Sword more now. It should be, I think it should be valued less. Nintendo's priority at this point is to barely provide enough value to this generation's new customers to keep them on board. If you've been a long-time Nintendo fan, fuck you. You're paying $60 for a game you can get for $20 in the Wii U eShop. Yeah, I think that it should be $40. I think that's what they should list it as. Like, that seems fair. I would pay, I mean, here's the fucking thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna buy it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna buy it. I'm a piece of shit. I'm feeding Nintendo to do this, but I am on their fucking hook, and I like playing their games, and I just want to be able to play their games in new ways, and I want to be able to talk about their games. It's part of my job to do so. So it works. Same goes for Link's Awakening. I have less of an issue with the Link's Awakening, again, because it's a full remake. But yeah. So I don't know. It's a frustrating thing. Nintendo, asshole Uncle Nintendo, who you think could leave at any moment, isn't. Asshole Uncle Nintendo is Nintendo. Owns the house. Will not leave the house. We can think it's the nice parents Nintendo who's been nurturing us since childhood, giving us experiences that are important for our development, who own the house. But it's not. That's just the face that they put forward so that people don't view them as evil. Yeah, they announced stuff too early. I mean, it's so goofy. Cause yeah, thoughts on Splatoon 3. I don't care about Splatoon. I've played some Splatoon 1 and 2. Don't own it. Seems fun. People like it. People have bought it. It's a fine announcement. It's a new game. And I'm sure a lot of people are excited for it. I didn't really realize that Splatoon 2 came out in 2017. I thought it came out in early 2019. So yeah, it'll be a 5-year gap between releases. So that's fine. That's a fine game. But here's the other thing is what was the release for Splatoon 2? They capped their presentation with a release date for Splatoon 2, or a general release time, and it's next year. It's 2022. Their big announcement is a game that's coming out late next year or mid next, I don't know, sometime next year. It's like, it's such a weird choice. It's such a weird move to do. Yeah, the trailer was kind of misleading for a while. Like, you didn't know what it was until 3, like, you knew it was Splatoon, but you didn't know what, like, is this a like single player thing? Is it a side like spin-off? What is it? What the fuck is it? And it was slow, and then it was just Splatoon 3, and it's like, why didn't you just jump into it right away then? But yeah, I don't know. It's like, even their big announcement here is a game that is coming out next year. And that's better, I guess, than Breath of the Wild 2, where they're like, it will release sometime, or Metroid Prime 4, which was just like, at least Breath of the Wild 2 had a trailer. You know what I mean? Splatoon killed the French. I loved how slow paced. I mean, you know, for a artistic shot within a movie or something, or within a game, cool, sure. But for a trailer that's trying to hype up Nintendo fans, I think it was a failure. All right, also, let's talk about it. I'm mad about this.
How's it going so far? There's still a little bit more to show you in today's Nintendo Direct, so we hope you'll stick with us. Next, please take a look at this.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
I think this is really manipulative. And it's this weird thing where I'm like, yeah, I think this is lame. I mean, it's not the big look. Eisendai it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's whatever. But I think this is lame. Because you show Aonuma, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna think when you show them? They're going to think that a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement's coming. They even say that. They make it really clear. Hey, I know you saw me, and you probably thought I was gonna announce Breath of the Wild 2. Said, news coming later this year. Cool. That's good to hear. I'm glad that they said that. Sure. But I'm just saying, from a look, watch any reaction of it, and like, for anyone who recognizes him,
hope you'll stick with us. Next, please take a look at this.
Anyone who recognizes him, which I think is a lot of people, big excited. Yes, I understand he says it quickly, but there are so many other ways you could present this and do this. You know, you see it there. You're sat up in your seat.
I'm Eiji.
You hear the name. You see it. So even if you didn't recognize him, you see the name. You know who it is. You're like, Breath of the Wild 2. And then immediately is like, hey, no, we don't have any news. and look, they knew what they were doing. They say they know what they were doing. They said it. Because
producer of The Legend of...
He
we
says
don't
like, we don't have news. You probably thought there was going to be news, and we don't. And this is the announcement he
have
gives.
anything to share right now. We apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year. For now, we'll have to ask you to wait just a bit longer. While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
That's what he came on to say. He spends more time talking about the thing he's not announcing than the thing he is, which is one sentence. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they acknowledge that there is not news and they will have some later. Okay? That's cool. But like, here's other ways that they could have presented it. They could have had this guy, they could have had the snapping guy say, "Hey, take a look at this old Legend of Zelda game coming to Switch this year." You don't need Aonuma. You don't need him there. You could have anyone else do it by showing his title. They were trying to make people hyped up. This, like, either they don't understand how people are going to react to things, or they were trying to bait people to talk about it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you don't think it was the intention, you might not know enough about asshole Nintendo, who's either just incompetent, I guess, or like sort of seems to like actually hate fans. So I don't know. I think like it's just, you could have had someone else do this. You didn't need him there. You didn't need to show him. And again, I'm not trying to say this is the biggest deal in the world. Okay, I'm not trying to say like I'm dying over here, I'm crying, Nintendo, how dare you. At 2, Nintendo, at 2, he probably wanted to, I don't know, look at this dude. Do you think he wants to say this shit?
We apologize.
You think he wants to be here?
Development is proceeding smoothly.
He is looking slick though. I love the look. I love this motherfucker. They didn't bring out leaders of other teams? Yeah. Of course they didn't bring them there? I don't know. The t-shirt blazer look, dude, his hair's looking fire. He's looking good. The glasses, great. I'm just saying, I think there were ways that they could have done this without it feeling as much like bait as it did. And you can say, oh, he said it right away. You can say, oh, I don't think that was their intention. Okay? But the reality is, over half the people watching, the second they saw him or the second they saw his name, were hyped as fuck. Okay? They were hyped as fuck. They sat up in their seats. They're like, this is the moment. And then it was just immediate deflation. How is it there? How is that Nintendo's fault? How is it Nintendo's fault in how they present games? In a Nintendo Direct? What do you mean? It's marketing. What do you mean? That's marketing. That's the whole point, is being able to predict how people might react, being able to push something forward in a way and present something in a way that isn't going to make people mad, that is going to make people excited. Because I'll tell you what, Skyward Sword is one of the least popular Zelda games. People don't like Skyward Sword. I like Skyward Sword. I'm hyped for this. You want to make people even less excited about Skyward Sword? You make them think they're about to hear Breath of the Wild 2, and then show them Skyward Sword. It's 100%. That's 100% on them. Sure. Look, you can't predict every reaction. It's not what happened, but I'm telling you that's what happened to me. I'm telling you that's what happened to like everyone I watched who was streaming it. I'm telling you that's what happened to so many reactions I've seen. But that's not what I think. You're twisting what I'm saying. I think you're twisting what I'm saying. I don't know. I think if you see the director of Zelda and they say there's director Zelda and you know everyone's excited about Breath of the Wild 2, that's what people are thinking about. A good marketing director is going to be able to identify like what the audience wants. Like that's just it. A good marketing director will know. Like, and whoever's running this shit, whoever's putting this forward, I think made a miscalculation on this. See you, Crystal Face. I think it's just like this. Look, I understand, like, sure, you can say that it wasn't intentional. I think this was bad. I think this was bad marketing. I think they did a bad job with this. I think they, sure, let's call it unintentional. Let's call it not what they thought was going to happen. Grim, thank you for the sub. I'm doing well. Rasputin, Butte, more like Butte. But they immediately nip that bud. Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like you see it, they nip the bud, but I don't know. That didn't make me not feel disappointed. And then you go to Skyward Sword, which is like the I think you flip it. This is my suggestion. If you want to show Anuma, you flip it. You do the snap, you show Skyward Sword, and then you show them. And you say, hey, I hope you enjoyed that HD thing. Just want to take a moment of your time to say we don't have any announcement on Breath of the Wild 2, but there will be some this year. We are very excited to share that with you. You flip it, and I think it's like a far better announcement. Because then it's like Skyward Sword doesn't feel like the consolation prize. It feels like, hey, we're working on this and we're moving stuff forward. I think that's just better. That would have just been done better. Or not have them at all. Have someone else do it. But, and again, like, I'm not saying like this is the biggest. We've obviously talked about it for 20 minutes, right? It's not the biggest deal in the world. I just think that this was done poorly. I think this was done poorly, and for me at least, it made me less excited about anything announced after it. BlizzCon? No. Are they? Do you think are they going to announce anything? Or are they teasing any announcements? I guess. When have they ever had good marketing? Yeah. I don't know. I like some of the stuff, like when Reggie was president, I think they had some funny commercials, but that's mostly just because Reggie is funny. But also, like, at the same time, sometimes we're shitty to Nintendo fans. Like the one that like talked about Mother 3 or whatever. Nintendo America is a very different company. True. At least forward facing there. But yeah. I mean, your point of they're better at marketing makes sense. So I don't know. I mean, I just think this was a flub. Listen, I'm not saying cancel Nintendo for this. I just think this was a flub. I think it didn't read the room well. I think if you just flip it, people are like, okay, cool, we're getting Skyward Sword. Cool. Not exactly what I want, but cool. And then you have him come on after and say, hey, that's what we have for now. More awesome Zelda news this year, especially with Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's bad marketing. I think you know, And that's what the direct is. That's what the direct is. It's a big marketing thing. And I think they presented their game in the least exciting way possible.
Also made it possible to play the game with button controls to...
But yeah. Yep. That's my thoughts. Musical Mercy, thank you for the sub. I'm excited for this though. I think I'm excited to see how the motion controls work on Switch, and I'm excited to see if the joystick option will be good. It seems like it could be. So annoying is they figured the shit out already so well that Sony and Microsoft started copying them, but somehow fall. Yeah. Some people are making it out to be. Sure. I mean, it's just bad marketing. It's no more, no less. Like, listen, when people get really people get really mad, obviously, and you hear like this is a spit in the face of Nintendo fans, and whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Some people might just think it's not that deep. It's just bad marketing. It's bad marketing. I think they made it so because here's one thing. The way you want to know how most people are watching Direct, it is not watching Nintendo Direct. It is watching their favorite content creator, their favorite streamer, their favorite video essayist stream their responses to it. That's how people watch it. That's how they interpret it. And those people are going to react to this in a way of getting really excited for Breath of the Wild 2 news, and then being disappointed, and then, like, if they like Skyward Sword, being hyped, but if they were middling or low on it, being extra mad about it. Pricing and other business practices, true. Anyway, all in all, bummed this is 60. Didn't like how it was announced. I feel like they did the game a disservice by doing it that way. But yeah, I'm excited. I liked Skyward Sword. I didn't have a ton of troubles with the motion controls when I played it. A lot of people complain that you go back to the same areas a lot, which I guess, but it still had a lot of dungeons that were interesting. The main thing I didn't like was the melody, whatever, the notes you have to get. Hopefully they lower that like they did in Twilight Princess with the bugs. It was a psych out, and then they thought they were gonna have Breath of the Wild 2 trailer after that. I don't think Nintendo would do that. Zelda Anniversary Set release is coming this year. Almost should have just advertised that. Yeah, so I mean, that's the one thing, is the anniversary, isn't the anniversary on the 21st? Breath of the Wild has dungeons. Take Link's Awakening game assets and make Link to the Past. That'd be sweet. Or Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I think the motion controls are ultimately a problem. Because they work like 90% of the time, but think about any other kind of controller in game. If it's failing 10% of the time, that's bad. I think the Divine Beasts were awesome. Here's the thing. I'm not going to act like Breath of the Wild's a perfect game. In fact, I have an idea called Fixing My Favorite Game, which will be a video essay on the things in Breath of the Wild I would change. I think a lot of people's problem with Breath of the Wild is expectation. Expectations from previous Zelda games and expectations from other games in general. Not to say that there weren't any issues with Breath of the Wild. Of course there were. Of course there are things that could have been better. But I think, things like the lack of dungeons, or I think here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think sure, I agree. It would be cool if, like, just in the world you get rid of like 10 shrines or something and just use the ideas from shrines and have it just be some dungeon you find in the middle of a mountain, and you go in and just dive deep underground, solve all the puzzles that are in there, and get some sort of bigger reward for that. I think that would be dope as fuck. That could have been really cool. That also, like, that are optional, right? It all has to be optional because that's how Breath of the Wild works. But give you some sort of reward. And I think that they could have done that without changing too much. But I think people give the Divine Beasts a bad rap because they aren't typical Zelda dungeons. And they're comparing them to typical Zelda dungeons because it's the only thing you can do in Breath of the Wild. And they're just kind of fundamentally different. So, yeah. I think the Divine Beasts have some of the most interesting puzzles I think they're amazing. I think the Divine Beasts are awesome. They're really fun. They're just different than what people conceptualize a Zelda dungeon to be. And because Breath of the Wild doesn't have any more typical stuff that they're used to, they view that as a fault. But yeah, I really like the puzzle box dungeon. Yeah. Yes. Said what they want to be, yeah. I mean, there's no diversity in aesthetic, is that what you mean? You see, Outer Wilds is still worth playing if you know how to finish it because you watch tutorials. Why'd you watch tutorials of how to finish it? Why would you do that to yourself? The answer is yes. It's kind of a bummer, but yeah. Because my guess is you probably don't remember every single aspect that you need to do in order to actually beat it. So you might know a piece of the puzzle, but probably don't know actually everything. The bosses are actually more different. Like, the way they operate and the way you have to fight against them are actually really different. They look the same. Yeah. As a console game, I see, here's the thing. You play with a gamepad no matter what. You'll want to play with a gamepad no matter what. I'd say probably the Switch version is just going to look worse and run worse. So, you know, if you have the option, if your choice is between Switch and PC, go with PC. If your choice is between PC and PS4, it's not going to be much of a difference. Or Xbox or whatever. Not going to be much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, I think Breath of the Wild made some aesthetic choices that aren't the most interesting in the world, and because of the scale of Breath of the Wild, you end up seeing some of them a lot, which I don't think is game breaking, right? I still, like, that doesn't make me not love the game. But yeah, obviously it'd be nice to have a little more differentiation in how stuff looked. Certified Genius, here's the thing, I'm a fucking moron. Anyway, this Splatoon trailer had me going from really hyped to, like, I don't give a fuck. For a second, I thought we were gonna get Splatoon of the Wild. I thought look, I'm not interested in Splatoon or Splatoon 2 because I just like, not that I don't like multiplayer games. The creators, yeah, I like that. That was cool. It's slick and nice. I'm just not super into multiplayer games, especially on Switch. So I'm just not interested. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, are they about to do for Splatoon what they did for Zelda? I mean, yeah, that's the thing to me as a non-Splatoon fan. Granted, it will have been 5 years between releases. What's different about this? Different maps? Maybe some different weapons? Does the gameplay look different? For those who have played? Like, is there anything other than the existence of a new Splatoon? Some new movement abilities? Okay. Choosing your spawn point? Okay. Oh, there is a new campaign. So I heard that about Splatoon 2. There was a single player campaign, right? And it's actually really good. But no one talks about it. The demon. Oh, yeah. Neon White. Here's how I felt about Neon White. Is I really want to play it, but I'm not going to play this shit on Switch. I'm not going to play this fucking game on Switch. 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 both had campaigns. Interesting. Was it good in 1? I think this looks really interesting in terms of like getting power-ups through these cards that are essentially movement consumables and attacking consumables. I think that's such a wild, clever idea, and it asks you to do it so quickly. And is it also a dating sim? Yeah, I think this game looks great. No chance in fuck am I gonna play it on Switch. Thing that jumped out to me, player knows where to go. Yeah. My guess is far less smooth. My guess is it would be far less smooth. Yeah. I don't know. No More Heroes 3, I guess that's cool for some people. Ultimately, I think this was a fine direct. I think they had a bad last 10 minutes. In terms of adding maximum hype to their games. I think they had a bad last 10 minutes. Yeah, I think Neon White looks great. I'm excited for it. Again, not going to play it on Switch. Yeah, I was hoping for Silk Song. See, I felt that too, but I don't know. I've talked to some Splatoon fans, and they're like, "I love Splatoon," so I'm excited about it. And I guess it's good at least that they announced a new game and showed a new game. It's just that it doesn't look all that different. You know? Just doesn't look all that different.
I couldn't tell you. Because I got an invitation to join Smash!
Thoughts, chat? Is this exciting? Is this a good addition? I mean, people like Cute Girl. I didn't play Xenoblades 2. But it's another sword fighter. Isn't that exactly what people don't want in Smash? Another sword character from a Weeb game? Another Smash character is good. Yeah, but listen, here's how I feel at this point. I'm not gonna buy it. I've decided I don't play Smash. As exciting as this shit kind of makes me, the only way I'm gonna buy another DLC pack There's only one character that'll get me to buy it. You know who that is, chat? Spam it in the chat if you know. Am I wrong in thinking that the WoW factor? I think there is one there. I mean, there are like, sure, if you had like Goku and shit like that, you know, that'd be hype as fuck. People would lose it for that. Chat, what are you doing? There's an obvious answer. It's not even my favorite thing. It's just someone who deserves to be in the fucking game. And it's not Outer Wild. It's not Feldspar. It's me. Yes. Wow. Waluigi. Dude, Waluigi deserves to be there. That will get me to buy that shit. I will buy it for Waluigi and nothing less. I will never buy another Smash thing until Waluigi's in Smash. That's where it's at. That is where I'm at. If Waluigi doesn't get it, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit, dude. Support Waluigi. He needs it. He needs it. It's just like, yeah, Mitch, I think you have a good point of the Japanese audience is obviously super important, so adding these weeb characters. Granted, like, Xenoblade 2 is popular here, right? I just think that Waluigi seems like such a no-brainer. Right? And look, I know there's different aspects of Smash. There are people who are good at Smash and then people who have fun playing Smash. the two types of folks is the two types of people who play Smash are the ones who have fun and the ones who want to be good, right? And I think Waluigi would be so awesome for the people who like having fun playing Smash, because I think Wario is one of the most fun characters to play as. Because he's so goofy, his moveset is so diverse and weird and wild. And here he farts, oh my god, he just pulled out a motorbike. And think about all the cool stuff and funny stuff you could do with Waluigi. There's just so many gags that you could pull off. And I think, like, it'd just be fun. Yeah, it'd just be fun to have him. He really seems like a no-brainer to me. Especially with how, like, many people are tired of fucking sword users. The people who play with items and the tryhards, yeah. Dude, that's when I realized I hate Smash. Okay? Is moving from playing with my friends in the basement, where we play 4-person, timed with all items. And then I became friends with online people who'd be like, yeah, let's play Smash. And they'd be like, all right, 1v1 Final Destination. I'll be like, this isn't fun. Fuck you, I hate this. I hate this. I don't want to do this. This isn't how I want to play Smash. Let it be the party game that it is, all right? How am I ragging on people? What are you talking about? I'm not ragging on anyone. I'm saying there are two different groups of people. People who like to view it as a fighting game and people who like to just have a goofy good old time. It ain't ragging. It ain't ragging. It would be ragging if I said people who like to play it competitive are dumb and they shouldn't play it like that. That would be ragging. But me saying that there are people that take it very seriously and people who don't take it seriously at all, and when those people play together, if one tries to go to the other, it can completely change how they view the game. That's not ragging. Isn't that? I think you're taking memes too seriously. And I think you're adding words that aren't being said. Further from hardcore Smash player, but I enjoy playing without items. It can be fun for sure. I think what I realized though is like, unless the person I'm playing is at exactly my skill level, I have no interest in grinding to be as good as someone else. And what I fell in love with Smash was playing with all items, high frequency, chaotic shit, where some skill is involved, but most of it is just the luck of the draw and who's having fun. And anytime I tried to get good at Smash, I found myself uninterested in playing it. Isn't I? It's a joke. Like, of course, you can still have fun at being good at Smash. It's just a different type of fun. It's all right. It's all right. I know, but I feel like you know what I mean, so I don't know why you're kind of pushing it. Smash sucks, true. Dude, can we talk about how Sakurai deserves, like, the world? He deserves a break. He deserves to not have to work on Smash ever again. I wonder, so what other games has he made? What other games has he worked on? I haven't played Uprising. Kirby? Kirby Kid Icarus? Yeah. I'd be interested in like a new Kirby game that wasn't aimed at kids. And I don't mean like obviously like an M-rated Kirby game. I just mean like, right, you it feels like Kirby's what's it, Epic Yarn? Is that the one or is that a Yoshi one? Kirby Locked and Loaded. Yeah, Yoshi has turned into baby's first game. Kirby's fucking pissed. You know what I mean? And that's fine. It's great to have games that are simple, easy for kids to play. I just think you could make kind of a more complicated Kirby platformer based on changing abilities a lot instead of going the more simplistic route, you know. And maybe there's not a massive market for that, but I think it'd be cool. An M-rated Metroid. Samus just stomps on a fucking Metroid, rips it in half, eats it. This is my child. Robot is that? Isn't that a 3DS game though? More complex, difficult. Yeah, that'd be fun. Here's the thing, 3DS games, I don't know. Okay, let me tell you, if I'm Mr. Nintendo. Okay, so I want to have a discussion about this. I want to go back to Zelda. My thought process here is I'm thinking about 3DS and how I don't want to play games on 3DS anymore, and I just wish they were on Switch. All right. I love 3DS. The 3DS is great, but I just don't care about it anymore. I just can't play it anymore. Love the concept. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to try it. Here's what worries me. I want so many things. Listen, I know that 3D All-Stars is kind of lame. I still want shit ported to Switch. I still want Zelda shit ported to Switch because I like playing on Switch. And also as a person who makes videos, it's nice to have them on Switch because it's easier to record. And sure, yeah, I could get an emulator. I mean, you can't really emulate Skyward Sword, I guess. But shit's just, the HD stuff looks really good. So having HD stuff on Switch would be great. So here's what worries me about this. This is the year, right? This is the 35th anniversary of Zelda, right? Hey, Noah. Right? This is when they would do the same thing as Mario. You have this direct and you announce this. You need some sort of Zelda news. And maybe, and here's what I'm curious about it. Like, are they gonna do a big thing for Zelda's 35th? Are they gonna do the same Mario treatment that they gave? Are they gonna give Zelda the Mario treatment, right? Of having some titles ported over, having some new exciting shit to talk about. Cause like, why announce this here? Why announce just this now? I mean, it comes out the 16th, so I guess that might be why. But for me, it's kind of like, okay, why not use why not use this opportunity to mention other things that you're bringing? I don't know. My guess is they might do something. I've heard people talk. They might do something in early July, right before this comes out, to talk about it some, and then maybe do some Zelda announcements, right? Do a Breath of the Wild 2 thing, and then be like, we have ports of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Because here's the thing, and that's what makes me nervous, is that they might not bring them over. They might not bring them over, which is a bummer, because it's like, how hard, I don't know, you tell me, programmers in chat, how hard is it to move Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD to Switch? How can you, why? Can you tell me why? Depends on the engine. Not easy. Hey, Pine. English major Omega lol. Bro, fucking shit. Depending on the hardware. But don't you think that, like, the infrastructure between Switch and Wii U, that they may have thought of, like, ways to port shit over? And this also isn't the first Wii U port. I mean, obviously they did Super Mario 3D World. Okay, look, Skyward Sword is hard. I'm not talking about Skyward Sword, though. I said Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD. I think this was tough. I think this probably took them a lot. But I feel like the work is probably mostly done. Like, at least the design work is done. It's just finding a way to get it to run on Switch, right? Gotta remake content? Why would they gotta, why? But why? It's been done. It already runs in 1080. I mean, look, I get it. I mean, some of you seem like you know what you're talking about. Others don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure there's quite a lot. Hey there, Brave Macaroni. I'm sure there's quite a lot to it. But, like, I don't know. They wouldn't have to redo textures. It's already runs in 1080. Like, they wouldn't have to redo textures. They don't need to change up the gameplay for it. Like, they just need to find where I'm talking. I'm losing my mind. Steve, you're making me lose my mind. I'm talking about Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. The new Breath of the Wild engine uses PBR engine. What? Dude, let's just talk about Kirby, bro. A Kirby platformer really really would be great. You're good, Steve. I'm fucking... You're just supposed to know everything that's going on and answer my question for me. Some of you are just saying stuff that makes zero sense because you're either memeing or you just don't have any fucking clue. Take you 3 minutes on Earth till you saw it. But do you think that I'd actually see a light turned on Mars? I can barely see a light turned on 2 miles away. The PBR engine, the Plaps Blue Ribbon engine. Nightmask, you're the one that's saying the stuff that makes the least sense. What you have put out there makes the least sense to me. Hey, King Daddy Max, because you're saying stuff like you need to up-res images for something that's already in HD, so you wouldn't need to up-res it. Like, it's already been up-res. They've already done that work. Rez, do you work as a game developer or programmer? No, but until you show me your resume, I don't fucking believe that you do. We're just talking about Nintendo and porting stuff over. Porting stuff from Wii U to Switch. Yeah, no one's gonna explain it well to me here. Nightmask, send me your resume later and we'll discuss it further. Anyway, listen. Here's what Nintendo should have done here. I'm cool with ports. Here's what Nintendo should have done here. I mean, here's the thing. They obviously... Okay, what... Can anyone answer me this, I suppose? What do you think's easier? Porting Skyward Sword from the Wii to the Switch? Or porting Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD from the Wii U to the Switch? My point is those HD games that are on Wii U, while certainly would take hundreds, thousands of man-hours of work, it is not crazy to think that the amount of money Nintendo could make by porting those games and doing whatever work it takes to move Wii U to Switch, porting those games to Switch would be a worthwhile investment. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? Because here's the thing. Fuck you, Mitch. Here's the thing. They obviously thought it was a good idea to do it on Wii U. And only 4 people owned a Wii U. And all of them are here in chat. So Switch, which has more units than like fucking anything, it might be a good idea to have Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD on your console. So you have to imagine that those are coming to Switch at some point. Are they coming this year? I don't fucking know. I have no clue. Should they come this year? I think so, probably. Imagine how hyped this Nintendo Direct would have been, even end it with Splatoon 3. Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. You sell it for $100 for the bundle. This is a much nicer Nintendo than the reality of Nintendo, which are probably going to drip feed them each at $60, so you spend $180 total. But we're talking about good Nintendo here. You sell the package for $100. Yeah, I'm one of the four. I'm one of the four who owns a Wii U. $60 for ship ports. I mean, the Wii U ports weren't $60. Those are actually pretty good ports. If you know how Nintendo achieved their visual effects. Are you not talking to me? Are you talking to someone else? You gotta tag each other. If you're not talking to me, please tag each other and shit. Or just DM each other. Because otherwise I have no fucking idea. Yeah. Please, either DM each other or make sure you're tagging. Little quality of life things they added in both games on the Wii U are a big deal. Yeah, for sure. We're all over the place, Steve. It doesn't matter. How much did Wind Waker HD cost? Anyone know? I think it was $50. I'm pretty sure I bought Twilight Princess HD for $50 when I bought it to stream it. We have not speculated. Do you think they're going to add anything? What would they add? More stuff to the... Yeah, 50 USD. Yeah. More stuff to... the hub world. That'd be cool if they added some more shit to the, like, because that's one thing. You get this cool ass bird to fly around with, but there just wasn't much up there to actually explore. So if they expanded that out, that could be really cool. I hope they also make like the musical note thing less tedious. Listen, the reason it's not I don't know, whatever. Add Luigi's balloon with Burb, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, obviously they're gonna port these things over at some point. They fucking ported. I mean, obviously, I think 3D World is a pretty good indicator that they'll want to port some more stuff. But they did the Fire Emblem, what's the fucking game? Tokyo Mirage Sessions. They ported Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Was there some extra dungeon content? Maybe. I think the big thing they did was some quality of life stuff of, I believe, making it quicker to switch between Link and Wolf. I think, obviously, quality of life of having your inventory on the Wii U gamepad, which won't really be a thing with Switch, I suppose. And I think they made it so you had to collect less of those tier things between dungeons and stuff. Faster climbing, less rupee text, lantern to show where souls are. Interesting. Mostly quality of life stuff, yeah. Alright, here's what I think Nintendo should have done. I think they should have announced all three of those things coming out. I think that would have been a super hype way to get people excited about Zelda this year. Get people appreciating Zelda in different ways. And have it, the year of Zelda. 3 things that people are pretty excited for. I think that'd be one thing. And I think that's all realistic, because I don't know. If they don't port Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, Jacob Geller had a perfect tweet about this. It just makes no sense. You have Switch, which is the best selling fucking console like ever. And obviously it could make a lot of money for them. Easily. So what's the reason? And I think Jacob Geller's onto something. You all boo, but if you had visited the same fortune teller and received the same dark vision of the future Anuma had, you wouldn't release the Wind Waker or Twilight Princess HD collections either. He's got to know something. The world must end if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD are released. It's gotta be the explanation. It's gotta be the reason. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they never will come out, because he's the hero. He's the hero who we need. Nua's the hero we need, even though we don't think we want it. What are you talking about? Nintendo made huge. Who are you talking to? SoCal. Don't let the battle music. Yeah, that'd be a nice change. Is there anything else that Zelda Anniversary would probably have, or is it just really? I mean, I think you're misrepresenting the context. I think what his tweet is saying is there is no reason that those shouldn't be released. His joke is that the only reason Nintendo and the people leading up the Zelda division have for not releasing those things or working on those things is that the world must end if they do. That's the joke, is that it seems like such a no-brainer. It seems like such a no-brainer to put those out because there's so many people that own Switches and would buy those games. What are Okay, here's the joke. They came out on Wii U, so porting them from Wii U over to Switch, while maybe having some difficulties, as the experts in Twitch chat have told me, is certainly possible. They've done it with other games. It seems like no-brainer to move them from Wii U, which didn't have a ton of sales, right? The Wii U didn't sell that many consoles. I guess I just don't understand why people want a port of a remaster, because, here. Because the Wii U sold 14 million units. Switch U sales. The Switch has sold 80 million units. So that's a difference of approximately 65 million units. Maybe 65 million people. Okay, so there are people who played Wind Waker on GameCube and Twilight Princess on GameCube or Wii who would like to play it again, but they never bought a Wii U, or they got a Switch now and have heard about those games and want to play it now. So that's why people want it ported, because to play those games you either play them on the old consoles or you buy a Wii U and play them on there. But playing games on a Wii U is worse than playing them on a Nintendo Switch, in my humble and honest opinion. I would rather play games on a Switch. So that's why people want them ported, because a lot of people don't own a Wii U. People don't have a way to play these games without spending a ton of fucking money to buy a Wii U. So what would you rather have in that case if you don't have a Wii U? Would you rather buy one and then buy the HD remake on there, or have Nintendo port it over? Seems like a no-brainer. It seems like there is a market there's a market of like a difference of 65 million people that the game could be accessible to if it was on Switch. 65 million more people. And that's not to mention, as someone who owns those on Wii U, I would buy them on Switch again because I want to get rid of my Wii U. Because I don't want to keep moving it around to every place I go to. I'd rather they develop new games rather than 3 years of ports. But here's the thing, they have different teams. You hire new people to work on the ports. They're still making Breath of the Wild 2. It's not like they're not working on Breath of the Wild 2 so that they can do ports. You have different divisions. I don't know. You honestly doubt that they're working on Breath of the Wild 2 at this point? I mean, okay. But obviously they don't seem to be working on ports either, so what are they doing? You know, are they just doing nothing? I know you didn't direct that at me, but 5 good games you can play on Switch and only Switch. Breath of the Wild, 1. How good is good? You gotta define good to me. That you can only play on Wii. Okay. Oh, this is exhausting. Dude, the Wii U fucking sucks. The Wii U fucking blows. Just because you can play Breath of the Wild on Wii U doesn't mean you should. But sure, let's look at the games and let's determine what's a good Nintendo game. Switch exclusive games that are good. I'd say Odyssey is good. I'd say Odyssey is good. This is only on Switch, correct? I don't think it's great, but it's good. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Chat, you'll have to weigh in. I did not love this one. It was okay. It was okay. Is this good? Is this a good game? Is it good? Very good. Okay, so we got 2. Splatoon 2, this is only on Switch. People are saying it's good. Technically, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is only on Switch. I don't know. I mean, listen, I agree with you. Like, you don't need to convince me or most people that since 2017, the new game front of the Switch has been disappointing. I don't think the answer to that is that they've been working on ports. I don't think that's the reason that they haven't released more exciting stuff on the Switch. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're not counting Breath of the Wild in it. There's definitely 5 good games that are only on here, but 5 great games, sure. I agree. What Switch has decided to do and Switch has decided to be is the portable option console. And they have moved their identity to bringing over indie games and ports so that people can, I mean, especially tons and tons of indie games that have big indie support and big indie pushes. You know what? I could do a quick Google search, download an emulator ROM, and play an actual. You think? I don't know, man. I love the port. I love the remake of Link's Awakening. I actually would disagree with you on that one. But look, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about. But didn't you say Astral Chain? Isn't that Switch exclusive? Am I wrong on that? Or is that on PC? The thing is, though, I mean, you can start to say that about everything, SoCal. That's the issue. I mean, that is an interesting thing of it, is like, what's happening to exclusives? Who still has good exclusives? Because Microsoft doesn't, like, Xbox doesn't have anything really worthwhile at this point, because everything's coming to PC as well. So what games can you only play on Xbox? It's losing steam. And same with Sony. Sony has some, but like their Horizon, one of their biggest, is on PC now. Death Stranding, which is a pretty big one, on PC now. I mean, Sekiro was obviously on PC, so you know it's only a matter of time until Bloodborne gets there. Microsoft has Halo, but that's on PC. That's on PC. So yeah, what does Sony have now? God of War and anything Naughty Dog makes? Spider-Man? Yeah, Spider-Man as well. I think my point is, like, you're not wrong. I think the Switch is a good console with a lot of games that you can play in good ways. I love the portability of it. And I love a lot of games on it. It has had a disappointing mainstream release since 2017. It had 3 great games, and sure, you can call Breath of the Wild not exclusive, but like, I don't know. It's just like 90% of people who have played Breath of the Wild probably played it on Switch. So it is what it is. But sure, it's not technically exclusive, but knowing that only 4 people owned a Wii U, and I was one of them, it's not the main way people played it. But yeah, 100%, it's been disappointing. Managed to stay in the market despite one shitty console after another. No, they don't even have that because they just port their old games. I think I disagree that them porting their old games is stopping mainstream entries. Because here's the thing. All right, let's look. Mario games. Release dates. Fucking Christ. I wish there was just like a infographic to find. Cool. This is what we'll do. Fucking Christ. All right, this is the best we'll get for now. It's just like, all right. Early days of Mario, a 4-year gap between Mario 1 and 2. The greatest shit of all time. This doesn't even count as a game. So really a 6-year gap between Mario games. 1-year gap, 4-year gap, 6-year gap. Can't read this. But between 3D Mario games, 5-year gap. Between 3D Mario's games, 3-year gap. And then you have a gap from Galaxy 2 to 3D World, which I think was 2015. So 5-year gap, then or 4-year gap. I don't know. My point is, like, Odyssey came out 2017. You'd hope that Odyssey 2 would come out like next year or this year. I think it's just like Nintendo's always been slow on releases like this. Zelda. Type in Zelda timeline. Zelda release order. It's not as if they're slowing down. I'm not saying don't be disappointed with Nintendo. Like, please do. But like, they always have big gaps between their major games, right? You know, 3 to 5 year gaps between stuff. Never Google Zelda timeline. Yeah, the new series was really popular, actually. It's wild how much people like those 2D Mario games. They're good for sure. I mean, that's interesting. Like, is this a problem with them front loading the console launch? What did they all have that first year? Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Odyssey. Right? Like, a pretty wild front of games. Would they have been done better to than Ultimate right in 2018? Would they have been better to have Splatoon, have Odyssey come out in 2018? You know, they had to come swinging out because Wii U bombed. True. I mean, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. I don't know. I mean, I feel it. I just like, I think saying, look, I agree with everyone who's saying that the Switch has been disappointed in its mainstream releases. I just think that like, it's not because they're like spending time porting things as well. I don't know. I think most Switch owners would say that they like want to be able to play everything on their Switch. That's how I feel. That's how I felt when I first got my Switch, is I just wanted every Nintendo game I ever liked to be on there. So I think them porting things is something I want. Do I want new games as well? Yeah. But there's always a wait. There's always a 4 to 5 year wait. I don't know. I think their timing of stuff was bad. I think they should have had more of a gap between Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. And I think that they probably, in this gap between like 2018 and now, needed something great to come out. And maybe they thought they had that with Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing was a big fucking deal. It was helpful for a month. But this Animal Crossing did not have the longevity of stuff before it, unfortunately. Dude, people hate this new Animal Crossing. People hate New Horizons. Like, people who actually play Animal Crossing. Obviously, like, plenty of people love it. But a lot of people dislike this Animal Crossing. Not saying that they thought it's bad. Not saying that they think it's like not worth any time. But there are people that have stopped playing New Horizons and gone back to New Leaf. And yeah, there's plenty of people that the series isn't for either. I mean, you just like... You have heard nothing like that? Okay. Steve, you haven't heard anything about people preferring New Leaf over New Horizons? I mean, maybe you guys are never on Twitter, and honestly smart. But it's like all I see people post about. Whenever I see shit on Animal Crossing, it's all I see people post about. Nah, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that like New Leaf is more enjoyable. Like, look, obviously it's a high-selling game. I'm just telling you that like the general vibe of a lot of people is that New Leaf did a lot of things more successfully than New Horizons. And that New Leaf gave people a lot of reasons to keep playing that New Horizons didn't. And that New Horizons, the way they've drip fed in updates has been a little frustrating. New Leaf to its fullest. No, much better. Yeah. I mean, where are your... Okay, whatever. I'm getting so fucking annoyed today. I'm sorry, chat. New Horizons being shallower than old games. Yep. I mean, it's just like, it's there. Not everyone hates it, sure. And if I represented that way, I apologize. No, you guys don't need to apologize. It's just like everyone's talking from their own experiences. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking from their own experiences. And I don't know. I'm surprised that none of you guys have heard negative things about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Because I've seen a lot. And I liked the game. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it was like what I was looking for in a long-term game. It's just not what I was looking for from my other personality. Well, I think it's just, here's one thing to remember, is that like a handful of people were still playing New Leaf. Like there's people that were still playing New Leaf right before New Horizons came out. A significant amount of people. You know, maybe not hundreds of thousands or millions, but like a significant amount of people. Definitely played in negative stuff, but didn't attribute it to being a downgrade for New Leaf. How high could they get it? $60. Yeah, $60. Easy. Chat, if I snipped at you, it's because the way some of you were responding was as if you haven't heard a negative word about that rhymed. Haven't heard a negative word about New Horizons, and that was just like how. That's what I was losing my mind over is people acting that. But I see that what you were confused about is me saying that some people stop playing Horizons to do New Leaf instead. Could it go to 80? I mean, they would have to start selling all their games at 80. Like if Wind Waker was just at 80 and the rest of the stuff was at 60, no, I don't think it would do well. Are we saying it's fair? No, I don't think it's, I mean, I don't think it's fair. I'm just saying Nintendo could sell it at 60 and people would buy a shit ton of them. Like, it wouldn't hurt their sales. I think anything over 60 for just Wind Waker HD would be tough because it's never cost that much. And Yeah. It's just the expectation of what people are willing to pay. GameCube had one mainline Mario and two mainline Zeldas for a 6-year console. Didn't even have a Kirby besides Air Ride. Kirby Air Ride's great. GameCube also released a ton of new series like Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, as well as a ton of new takes on existing series. The GameCube's dope. You don't need to tell me twice. You don't need to tell me twice. This is a rhetorical question, but why the fuck are we okay with that when we paid $60 for 3 games in Mario? Yeah. The reason is, here's I think the mental justification. I mean, first of all, they're HD remakes, right? So they aren't just direct ports. Let me try to get the justification. Ah, never mind. It's not working well. Okay. Here. I know your question's rhetorical, but here's my answer. How long to beat Mario 3D All-Stars? Big range. Big range. But about 32 hours? Right? How long to beat Wind Waker? 25 for the main story. 40 for doing everything. I think it's playtime. I think that's what people would say. That's the argument. And don't get me wrong, I think it's a bullshit argument. I don't think we should be okay with Wind Waker HD if it were to be ported to the Switch being 60. We shouldn't be okay with that. We shouldn't be okay with the Skyward Sword thing either. It's not how they should be pushing their business. Yeah, I would like it to be 30. I mean, especially for something like this where, you know, especially for direct ports, because this at this point is a direct port. Obviously, it is up-res from the original, but yeah. I think 40, yeah, 40 would be pretty solid. I don't know. Would pay 40 tops, yeah. Third time releasing Wind Waker, it gets silly. So yeah, why put it at 60? 40 is acceptable when Spyro Crash Trilogy is 40. I mean, so that's the big thing, is like, yeah, all the other fucking studios putting out remasters of their shit, doing it for 40. Granted, they, look, Spyro and Crash, good shit. They do not have the Nintendo prestige or loyalty, but yeah. Yeah, Mario 3D All-Stars should not have been 60. They like didn't do shit. They gave you worse ROMs than you could get on, like, that you could get from creating your own ROMs, because that's the only legal way to do ROMs. But yeah, they emulated it, and they got a worse version of Mario 64 that you can't even really speedrun. SoCal, all of us who use emulators make our own ROMs. Okay? patched out good bugs. Said Nintendo is straight up predatory compared to Valley, Sony, and Microsoft. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like they did the Japanese version instead of the US version. I think that was the difference, which got the BLG gone. Might be wrong. I should try what? Making my own ROM? I do it every time I make a ROM. Some Chinese port? Okay. Wind Waker, they'll do a port. They're not going to remake Wind Waker. I don't think there's any point to remake Wind Waker. The art style holds up. Like, what, you know, what improvements can they make to doing like a full remake of Wind Waker? You know, like what's going to be better? I don't know. I don't think anything. Every content creator who emulates does it legally. You could do a sequel. A sequel to Wind Waker would be pretty cool. I mean, they technically already had one, but I mean, if anything, yeah, it'd be remaking the DS games, everyone's favorite games ever. Remaking Skyward Sword would probably be better. So that is an interesting thing, you know. Like, what's the solution to the motion control problem and people who don't want to play Skyward Sword with motion control? It's finding a way to add it to the control stick or the control things. But you can't get rid of it. That's the thing. If you get rid of it, then you have to change the enemy encounters. You have to change the puzzles. You have to change so much stuff in the game to get it to work. So then you have to remake it. You can't do an HD port without any sort of motion control aspects. You would need to fully remake it, which, you know, that's cool. I hope it's the best in it. I hope it is. Don't get me wrong, looking at it, I'm a little worried that it's gonna feel really difficult and unwieldy. But I hope it works. It could be like some Shiv Mordhau level of shit, though. You know what I mean? Of just like kind of precise controls to get stuff to work. How will the camera work, though? How does the camera work in Skyward Sword in general? Do you normally have pretty big camera controls? Reminds me of Skate 2, yeah. The camera's always automatic. So even in the original, you can't control the camera at all? Aside from Z targeting in Skyward Sword? Okay, cool. I did not really remember how it worked in that. Yeah, I don't really remember much camera issues either. No Wii games had proper camera controls. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this could be a good solution. It's definitely, I think, how I'll play it. I mean, I'll test out the motion controls to see how they feel, but I don't know. I just want to play a fucking video game. I might stream this. It'd be kind of fun to stream. What Zelda game has the best combat chat? I did play with a guide my roommate had. Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess. Get your Genshin shit out of here. Calling Genshin like... I know you're memeing, or I hope you're memeing. Genshin, like, it kind of looks like Breath of the Wild, and that's about it. They have a few mechanics of like climbing, but it's just Genshin's so... Snow, I think you got kind of the right opinion. Breath of the Wild has no enemies? What do you mean? Yeah. See, it's interesting. I think combat encounters in Breath of the Wild are the best. Combat encounters in Breath of the Wild are the best. The like combat of swinging your weapon in Breath of the Wild is like meh. But the cool thing about Breath of the Wild is how you can approach any combat encounter, right? And do you call that combat? It seems like a lot of people don't. And it also makes me think that people may have played Breath of the Wild in the most boring way. Flurry Rush trigger is broken. Yeah, I think that they should have only like limited that to like you have to build it up. That's what I wish. How cool would that have been? Is if that I should write this down for my video on how to fix my favorite game. I like the Flurry Rush because I think it's cool, and I liked it in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, especially Wind Waker, right? The whole parry thing, right, where you have to roll and slash behind them. I still like the Flurry Rush, but having it be something that like you build up, right? Like you have to do like 4 perfect dodges in a row to build up your Flurry Rush meter, and then you can unleash it. That's probably the better way to do it. Combat in all Zelda games is pretty unremarkable. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite game? Outer Wilds. Yeah, every combat encounter is just so different. Burning Rush. Jack, you get it. You get it. Bug snacks. Talking about bug snacks? Burning Rush, baby. Anyway, people said the same about my video when I knocked over Guardians by putting ice pillars underneath them. Yeah, there's so much cool shit you can do to create interesting combat encounters. But yeah, mechanically, Breath of the Wild combat is the best mechanically, but there are systems that are in the game that hinder it. I disagree with your weapon durability comment. I disagree also with the lack of enemy variety. I don't know. I think you have it backwards. I think it's mechanically not the best, but its systems are the best. Here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe I need to replay stuff again and do some actual counts on stuff. One thing that like I keep feeling weird about is like complaints people have about Breath of the Wild. Of like people will say the combat's not good, which I think is ignoring like all the cool things you can do, but like they just are thinking about the like moment to moment fighting. You have a sword, a bokoblins in front of you, you swing it, and they think that's less good. Mentioning story is less good. Mentioning less enemy variety. And I'm kind of like, how is that actually different from every other Zelda game? I don't know. Is the enemy variety in other Zelda games that good? Is it really that good? I mean, don't get me wrong. You are definitely fighting a lot of bokoblins. But I don't know, and maybe it's just that the world's so big and you'd expect there to be more enemies? Is that it? I just think you got a lot of the same shit in every Zelda game. I don't know. I don't think it has less variety. Yeah, I don't think it has less variety. And I don't think the story in Breath of the Wild is all that much less. Give you cool mini bosses. There's lots of cool mini bosses though. I mean, it's just structured different. The Hinoxes, the Modolga, the Talus things. Those are all great mini bosses. Lionels? I don't know. Yeah, this is recorded. The voice acting, yeah. I mean, we talked about this a bit the other day. I like everyone's voice acting in that game, except I don't really like Zelda's, which is the problem. But the regular enemies are fine. I don't know. I played Twilight Princess recently, and I felt like I was fighting a lot of bokoblins or whatever the fuck. I felt like I was fighting a lot of, you have the same fight over and over again in wolf form against the whatever monstery thingies. And like, don't get me wrong, the structure's different for sure. So the way you encounter stuff. Even if Breath of the Wild's fights are good, they're all the same. No. Different environments, different ways to interact with the enemies in those environments. I big disagree. I don't know, man. I think that pretty much every Zelda game is about the same on enemy variety. I don't know. It's just that you're playing Breath of the Wild longer. And maybe that's a problem, you know? Maybe that is a problem. But sure, let's look at the middle bosses, the mid bosses in I mean, I think it's maybe less of enemy variety and maybe more of not enough boss variety, which I'd agree. I'd like some more big boss variety. I wish they had looked different. The fights all felt different of the ones in Divine Beast, but it would have been nice if they looked different. You know? Anyway, let's look at this. We're just talking about Zelda. Alright, mid-bosses. This was a really good mid-boss. I like this one a lot. This was fun too. Fuck this one. This one was so bad. Don't really remember this one. Fight King Bulb. Fight him. Okay. Yeah. What one's this? Arbiter's Ground? Oh, yeah. This one was okay. This one was terrible. Darkhammer fucking sucks. Darkhammer's trash. This is Twilight Princess. Darknut's good. He's bad. Darkhammer's bad. Darkhammer's bad. A bad fighting arena. I don't know. Darknut's great. Darknut's great for sure. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe there's not. I think there's about just as much enemy variety. A little less, definitely less big boss variety. In Breath of the Wild. I think it's just more of, I guess, you're playing Breath of the Wild for 100 hours where you're playing this for 30. So once you're doing something 100 hours, you're doing something 3 times as long and seeing about the same amount of bosses. That'll change your opinion on it, which sure. What are you hawing, Steve? Yeah, I think calling Breath of the Wild empty is weird. I mean, you didn't like it. I'm not going to convince you to like the game. But I think that most people who like Breath of the Wild would feel very different on it being empty. There's a lot of space in Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I feel like you can't walk 5 steps without tripping on some interesting thing to interact with in Breath of the Wild. But yeah. I don't know. I think there's, I don't know. Remember the Gorons? They're cute. Alright, I'm gonna get some more water and use the restroom. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Alright, when I play Zelda, I want to explore dungeons and fight monsters and do puzzles that build up mechanics in clever ways. And then to top it all off, I want to fight a boss at the end of a dungeon, which is a combination of all that. There can be things in between, but that's what Zelda is to me. Breath of the Wild is all bones, and if you like that, then that's great. Opposite of what I wanted. Yeah, I don't know. SoCal, too bad you can't play ports of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD on Switch yet. I don't know, man. Here's the thing. So Kel, you don't want ports, you don't want new innovative games. How can we make you happy? How can us here at Nintendo HQ make you happy? Here's my thoughts. You want more games like that, please? Here's the thing, man. I think the internet, and I think people forget fast. People forget fast what they want and what they like. And don't get me wrong, another classic Zelda game, all for it. Throw me another one, you know? Sure, fuck it. In a perfect world where it's easy to time those things out, I'd be perfectly happy. I would love it if Nintendo developed their Breath of the Wild team and then their classic Zelda game. You know what I mean? Sure, cool. And also, yeah, they're 2D Zelda games. Love some more of that, and of course a Zelda 2 team. You know, that'd be great. All of that would be great. Especially a Zelda 2 team. I think though, and of course you're not the general public. No individual is the general public. But I think it's important to look back to how people felt after Skyward Sword, which was that Zelda was in a rut. Zelda was in a rut. That's how not all, but a lot of people were starting to look at it. That was the common sentiment in online circles, is that some people, sure, they liked Skyward Sword, but yeah, struggling with it. And then here's the thing. Yeah, SoCal, with that, Link Between Worlds comes out. Really fun game. Thank you for the hydrate. Really fun game that takes the old classic Zelda, and Link to the Past, and makes it actually a good game. Makes it good, makes it better. Adds some ideas of openness to it, of doing it in any order. And people felt revitalized by that. People were excited about Zelda in some ways if they went that direction. They took a very bad game in Link to the Past and made it good for once. Yeah, Link to the Past is fine. It's fine. But I think Link Between Worlds is an improvement on it in every way. I think, like, Skyward Sword is certainly more hand-holdy than other Zelda games. But the way people talked about it when it first came out was saying, yeah, it's more classic Zelda, the Zelda formula. And listen, maybe you're not tired of the Zelda formula, but holy shit, I am. I'm tired as fuck of that formula. Would I play another game with it? Probably. Was I skeptical as fuck about what Breath of the Wild would do? Yeah. But yeah, for me, playing Breath of the Wild, that seemed like a perfect way to reinvent the formula they had made while still paying homage to the roots of Zelda. So I don't know. I get it. You want the same game that you've been playing for a while, or a game with the same exact things you've been playing for a while. That's fine. But I don't know. I can play Ocarina of Time whenever. Lots of people gave it 10 out of 10s. Skyward Sword did well. People loved Skyward Sword. 93. got really good reviews. It had like slowest was a 60. You got mad. It was rated too low. Yeah, Zelda games are for 10s and 10s only. Put in a 0 to counteract the good reviews because it doesn't deserve an 8.1. Dude, I fucking hate the internet. I fucking hate people. I fucking hate them. It's so annoying. Here's what we're gonna do, chat. Shit. One second. Why is this taking so long? Here we go. I am giving this game a 10 to counteract the asshole, the person who gave it a 0 out of 10. Can I type out of 10? In the hopes of counteracting the good reviews. I actually think this is like an 8. But yeah, thanks. All right. I'm gonna submit. Ba-boom! Okay, Google, turn the light up to 100%. That's loud. Another thing, is there a more delicious bowl of spaghetti than the hot one after spending 80 hours with electricity living in an icebox? Jack, how you doing, dude? How's Texas, bro? Fuck. No, do not do a 0 to counteract my 10. I'm the good guy. Dude, I can't imagine. Hate this place? Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry you're going through that. As someone who deals with cold weather a lot, it is terrible. It is frustrating, and I am very thankful that we are built for it. Like, Wisconsin has obviously built their infrastructure and the way we respond to stuff to accommodate the cold. Where obviously that has not been the case in Texas for lots of reasons that it's not there, and also I know a lot of shit's been cut in corners because of deregulation shit. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry y'all have to be going through that. I don't know. It's I hate dealing with the cold, and I don't have frozen pipe or heat problems. And it sucks. So I can only imagine when those things are going wrong how it is. So I'm sorry for all my Texas friends, my Texas followers. Cold is better than hot. Let me tell you, Cool Myron, in certain circumstances it is. But I don't know. I would much rather deal with like a big weather day in Texas of it being over 100 degrees than dealing with some of the negatives you can get with cold. But yeah, I mean, on average, obviously, if you're cold, you can always add layers. You can only take off so many clothes. You know what I mean? You can't take off your skin at a point. Yeah, it depends how long the hot is and all that. I'm from Wisconsin. What I'm saying is the hottest I've ever been in a temperature, which is probably like a dry ass 105, 110 degree day versus negative 30 with feeling like negative 50 due to wind chill. I'll take the hot day. I'll take the hot day. But on average, yeah, cold is better. I'd agree. Turns out have a privately owned power grid that doesn't adhere to federal regulations is bad. Yeah. Humidity makes it worse. Fair. It's like you're swimming in your own sweat and shit. Depending on where you live and have grown up. Sure. But I'm saying I'm tolerant of cold. I think I'm super tolerant of cold. But I'd still much rather have a... Like, if it was one day and it's the hottest I've ever seen it be versus the coldest I've ever seen it be, I'd go with the hottest. But yeah, in general, if we're just talking about a 0 degree day versus a 100 degree day, I'll take a 0 degree day. Stores are still open. True. Roads can be traveled. True. Yeah. Anyway. Direct was a 7 out of 10. Sorry for arguing with all of you about different takes. I hope I didn't piss anyone off. Oh, I didn't talk about this. Fall Guys coming to Switch. Perfect. Smart shit. It's a perfect fit there. I'm surprised it wasn't already there. I love rain. Cold rain is bad. Made the road melt. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, I mean it is a perfect fit here, and maybe kids will see it and like it a lot. But definitely Fall Guys has moved past its prime. I mean, hasn't Among Us already come to Switch? Yeah. Among Us, the Fall Guys killer. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it does. I saw it. We were just talking about it. We've just been talking and arguing about stuff for the past 2.5 hours. It's been fun. It's been fun. So much fun. We're having fun. What was this game again? Is this like the Danganronpa like thing? Yo, this was really cool. The Hades collector's edition thing with like the art book. If I collected that shit, that'd be dope. Hope Hytale is this year. What is Hytale? I've heard people talk about it. Yep, we got a lot of chills here. We chill. Minecraft clone? Okay. How about Metopia though? What about it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what would have led to me walking away happy from this direct. You know what I mean? I think Triangle Strategy looks interesting. Yeah, I think it looks interesting. I didn't really... I beat Octopath. So I played stuff by that studio. Well, here's the thing. I'm saying like the least amount of news that I would have walked away happy. And I don't think Breath of the Wild 2 is the least amount of news that it would take. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if they had done a super big announcement and showed a lot for Breath of the Wild 2, I would have been hyped. But I'm saying, what else could they have done that isn't Breath of the Wild 2? I think Odyssey 2 I probably would have been hyped for, or any new Mario thing I would have been hyped for. Even though I'm pretty mid on Odyssey, I would find an Odyssey 2 thing exciting. The whole Knockout City thing. I didn't like that trailer. This one? Yeah, this is weird. We can play it. I'm not going to listen or fully watch it, but yeah. Bowser's Fury seemed like a test level. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, it's too soon to make a Mario announcement about, like, Bowser's Fury 2 or something. Or, like, a bigger idea of what Bowser's Fury does with Mario, right? Like, that's probably a next year thing. So I wouldn't expect something like that, but still, like Odyssey 2, I'm sure something like that's being in development that's going to be different than what Bowser's Fury is. There was like a special thing for Mario's anniversary. Yeah, this is such a weird trailer. It like felt like a Wreck-It Ralph thing, and then it's like, hey, we're video game characters who are playing as more here. Okay, here's what I really dislike about this trailer. And again, I'm not the target demo. Right? You have these interesting character designs. Sort of. I mean, whatever. I guess they're kind of generic, like WoW guy, generic CSGO guy, generic, you know, but they're more interesting than the characters you play as. So you have these like somewhat interesting looking video game characters who's clearly like bopping off the Wreck-It Ralph thing, who are playing as like default ass motherfucker robot arm guy, I guess. But like, look at these character designs, are so boring. These are so much more boring than this. Is so much like a big muscly orc dude is just a way more interesting character design than this. A cool suit, I guess. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. Yeah, the Wreck-It Ralph trailer. Yeah. Weird shit. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. The generic ass orc and the generic CSGO guy, and they're more interesting than these things. And it's like, how do you fuck it up that bad? Yeah, they're both boring, but one's more interesting than the other. Just because both are a thing doesn't mean that one's not better than the other. For example, heavy-eyed Mitchell Kramer and I are both old men, but he is better than me. You can't just say, oh, both old men. Game made by some corporate boomers trying to appeal to gamers, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Just how it goes. I don't know. I think I'm not excited for any video games this year that are new. Like, all my excitement is for stuff that has no guarantees. All of my stuff is like, oh yeah, excited for Breath of the Wild 2, but that's not coming out this year. Oh yes, but Graham, I can't get excited about Silksong will probably come out this year. You know what I mean? Probably. Listen, here's the thing. Silksong probably was gonna come out in 2020. Deathloop looks alright, yeah. Deathloop's the game I'm probably most excited for. Breath of the Wild 2 holidays possible? For sure, it's possible. No hype for Halo Infinite? Interested. It seems intriguing. Granted, some of the quality of it was a little weird. But yeah. Kino looks like, yeah, I mean, but here's the thing with newer franchise, that is always the weird thing, is sometimes with newer franchises, as cool as it is that we're getting new games that aren't based on the same properties, it's hard to have a full, like, should I be excited for this? Is this going to pay off? Is this actually going to be good? It has my interest, yeah. Kina has some of my interest. Deathloop has some of my interest. Someone had said God of War. We have no idea if God of War is coming out. Bravely 2, yeah, I'll be getting that. Hopefully I enjoy it. I don't know. I'm just not all that hyped for any games, and that's not a bad thing. I don't actually think that's a bad thing. A, it gives me time to work through my fucking backlog. Gives me lots of time to work through my backlog. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Oh, is it like Jet Set Radio? Yeah. That game looks kind of cool. Not really my thing, but yeah. Deathloop's May. Okay. Made by Lethal League devs. Yeah. That's cool. I wasn't a huge fan of and when I say I wasn't a huge fan, I mean I didn't play it. I didn't really play Jet Set Radio. So that's what I mean by not a huge fan. So I didn't play it. It's not that I disliked it. I just haven't really had the chance to play it. Lethal League's alright. I don't know. I don't have much I'm excited for this year. And again, I repeat, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just weird. I feel like usually I have at least 1 or 2 games that I'm anxiously awaiting. But I think for me, the 2 games I'm awaiting most are Silksong and Breath of the Wild 2. And I don't expect to hear anything about... I mean, I expect to hear things about them this year. I don't expect them to come out this year. Short Hike's good, but that came out years ago. What? Watch the Hytale trailer. It's like 2 years old. Why is it playing? What the fuck? Why does it do this? What's happening? Did not like... Okay, not gonna full screen it because it's getting mad at me. I did not play Builders. That's cool. How are they not getting sued by Minecraft? How is Mojang not suing their... That's pretty cool. Mojang supports it. Do they? I mean, do they? Like, I mean, yeah, this feels like Minecraft too. I mean, they've come out and said they do. I mean, I guess Minecraft is Minecraft, so it's kind of like it's just is what it is. I don't know. I mean, obviously some intriguing stuff. This is just, yeah, Bed Wars or whatever the fuck. Riot Games is packing it up. Hypixel Studios own the... Okay, and that's who makes this? Hypixel? Yeah. Watch videos together. I mean, I think they do some smart things. Having different modes of being able to build stuff, that's smart. Having like actual community servers be easier to access, presumably. Live scripting's pretty cool. Not that I would use that. I think this is actually pretty huge. A character creator. It's I don't know. The way to change your skin in Minecraft is so dumb. It seems so dumb to me. Okay, so it started. So did all of this start as kind of a server made by Hypixel, and then they were like, "What if we expanded these ideas of Minecraft to make our own game?" Looks like a texture pack. Yeah, I imagine it started as one. To be honest, is the world procedurally generated? Or randomly generated, or is it like, do they have set seeds for worlds? Hey, Lightning Girl. I got a lot of questions. I don't know. This shit's cool. I like this, you know, some more interesting combat encounters. Okay, so there's a set map. But maybe you can do your own stuff as well. Worst course of the year. Watch winners mostly seem pleased with. Interesting. It's random. Okay, so it is random. I don't know. I mean, this looks all right. Yeah, the trailer looks interesting. I'm curious as to what the moment-to-moment gameplay feels like. You know, obviously, like, stuff's more detailed looking than Minecraft. It seems like the building works just about the same. It's real bad. It's hard. Celeste is tough. It's got a lot of personality in its animations, I guess. I don't know. It kind of looks like the Telltale Minecraft stuff, though. And obviously it's very reminiscent of Minecraft because that's what it's based on. I don't know. I think it looks interesting. I think sometimes with stuff like this, though, just like more complicated doesn't necessarily mean more good. I don't know. I mean, this looks pretty cool. I mean, animations look slick, movement's a nice speed. Like some actual spell casting. That's cool. Action definitely seems like the fighting seems way better than Minecraft. Yeah, I'm not into it. Yeah, that's probably about where I'm at. I'm sure you can get some beautiful moments like you get in Minecraft. The combat definitely looks interesting. I mean, it always goes back, though, like, this feels okay. This feels like Pathfinder. Hytale is to Minecraft as Pathfinder is to 3.5. You know what I mean? Like, it's like improving on certain things and going a certain direction with it. As I mean, Minecraft is going a different direction, and I don't know what Minecraft is gonna do beyond Minecraft, right? Obviously, they have dungeons, they have other properties they're working on. But you know, it won't be a Minecraft killer. Yeah, I think it's mostly going to be people that liked the idea of combat in Minecraft, but not necessarily how it was executed, will play Hytale. I don't know. I mean, this looks nice. This looks fun. I just don't. I don't think I'll get. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see future generations how they view it all. Might be good in its own right. Yeah, but it does have the issue where, because like this is a Minecraft clone. You know what I mean? Like if you saw this image and you didn't know Hytale existed, and even if you saw this image and knew Hytale existed, and I asked you what game this was, if you knew about Hytale, maybe you'd tell the difference. But if you show this to most people, they're like, oh, it looks like Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like, Hytale is always going to have a ceiling of Minecraft. That's just the way it is. And luckily for them, Minecraft has the biggest fucking ceiling in video games. So if you're going to pick a game with a ceiling, might as well make it Minecraft. Oh, that trailer had 40 million views. Fit 60 million, yeah. But when's it supposed to come out? I mean, I think it looks good. I think this looks good. No release date. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks fun. It'll be interesting to see what it's like in execution. It'll be interesting to see, like, if it is just kind of like quality of life changes to Minecraft, or if it fundamentally shifts how this formula works. I'll probably play it. No release date though. Yeah, we watched the direct, or parts of the direct. Yeah, I mean, it'll never, and granted, that's probably not, I guess, their goal, right? Their goal is probably to be an alternative to Minecraft for people that are looking for Minecraft but slightly different. Minecraft but different enough to warrant its existence. What I can definitely say for this is, I think just by this trailer and the animations, the way combat works, all that stuff, I think the things it is adding, to me, warrants its existence. Obviously, someone just wanting to make it warrants its existence, but this actually, like, you know, I'd pay $20 for this. Yeah, enemy design is nice. Yeah, it also just seems I don't know, some of the environments are just more detailed than what Minecraft does. Animation's definitely different. It does almost look weird though, like these blocky worlds with fluid animations in a way that like Minecraft doesn't. I'd say if it's more than $20, I probably wouldn't want to buy it. 30 would be my max. It'll be interesting what they price it at, because that's the other thing. That is one thing about it, is I don't think they can price it all that much higher than Minecraft. Right? You have to use Minecraft as your model. Set about 20. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I kind of want to try it. Maybe I'll sign up for the beta. See if that let me play it. You heard a dex bonus might DM? No, that's cool. That'd be a fun, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to obviously do a lot of stuff for it, but that'd be a fun environment to run a game through. Copy Minecraft's blockiness, but then try to improve it with more detailed textures. Yeah. Thank you for the hydrate. And I think that, I mean, I think this looks good. I think it seems intriguing. It'll be interesting to see what crafting is like in this. You know, it feels like the evolution of Minecraft, right? Of the direction that you'd expect Minecraft to go. A little more fluid, mainstream, simple. Reason beat Hades using a pomegranate? No, that's amazing. That's awesome. That's hilarious. So interested in Legend of Mana. Yeah, that stuff. Legend of Mana look good. Neon White looks great for me. Yeah. I have a question. How do you argue a game's worth? What makes a game worth $60? I don't know. I'm not a business person. I'm not the right person to answer. I think I probably have a different perspective on it than a lot of you, because now it's my job. I can write video games off on my taxes as a business expense. You know, because it is like, it is a business expense now. So I might view it differently. For me, so yeah, because video games are actually my job. Like, time in video games as a chill time when you're off of work is just different. It's just, I have a different perspective. I follow the $1 1 hour. Yeah, I don't like that equation, but I get it. I get it. Personally, for me, the experience I have playing the game is what matters the most. Again, I say that as someone with disposable income who also gets to spend money on video games as a business expense. So take it with some salt. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if I play a short hike, which is what, a $10 game, and I played it for an hour, I thought that was worth $10. I think I bought it for, I played it for an hour, spent $10. That experience was worth it for that time. I played big games like fucking, I don't know. I played big open world games for many hours. And hit a point where, sure, okay, like Skyrim is an example. No. Better example is Fallout. I think I spent 60 hours in Fallout 4. So that was $1 per hour. But the most valuable hours were the first 5 or 10. You know what I mean? There got to be a point where I was continuing to play it where I wasn't having a ton of fun. It wasn't the most interesting thing, but there was content and things to do. So, like, for me, I get it. I get the general layout of $1 1 hour in terms of being able to justify value, and I get it as a guide, right? Yeah, That's perfectly fair, Lord Congress. Like, not a hard and fast thing. Like, it's a guideline. It's a good thing to put in place when maybe looking at the back of a game or not knowing a ton about it, and like, hey, it's got a lot of time in it. I can it's a good value in that regard. But for me, you know, the measure is always going to be on experience, right? It's like, because yeah, that's the reality. Some hours of a game are going to be more valuable than others. Not every minute's created equal. And yeah, the hour dollar guideline when you compare it to movies is, yeah, definitely interesting, right? We're fine going to a movie theater and spending 10-15 bucks, and that's like an hour and a half. But a lot of people, when you say $60 for a 6-hour game, they get a little nervous. Yeah, I mean, I think Outer Wilds could have been sold as a $60 game and gotten away with it. You know, I think it's smart. I think it's 25 or 30. I think it's 25 right now on Steam, and maybe it was 30 on Epic when I first bought it. But No Man's Sky is good now. No Man's Sky is like actually a good game now. You know? Where it wasn't for a while. Oh, fuck. We got a raid. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Thanks for the raid. Were you playing chess? Were you playing some chess, Michelle? Hey, to all fans of Michelle, my name is Rasputin. I make video essays on video games. If you watch Michelle, which I imagine you do, she mentioned my video in one of her videos. How nice and sweet. I make a series called Gaming for Non-Gamers, what you might know me for, where I have my wife play games. Got destroyed. Wait, was this PogChamps? Who'd you play in PogChamps? I saw you playing Rainn Wilson. A couple Logic. Logic's probably pretty good. Logic seems like he'd be good at chess. I played chess on stream like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Chess is hard. I don't know if people knew this, but chess is a complicated game. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and trying to focus on any one thing is so difficult. It's incredible how many things slip past your attention, and how for real a queen can just slip in there and ruin your day. Well, Michelle, thank you for the raid. Yeah. Appreciate you all for stopping by. This is not chess. We're talking about Hightail. We're talking about video games. I watched Queen's Gambit, yeah. Chess is
hello, motherfucker.
Thank you, Granddaddy Shortlegs. Queen's Gambit was a good show, for sure. But it made me realize I understand chess even less than what I thought. What's my favorite show right now? Like ever? Avatar. Avatar, baby. Or are you saying like that's kind of airing right now or is recent? Probably. Is that what you mean? Lightning Girl, thank you for the 5 gifted. Hell yeah, much appreciated. Thank you. Pog. I don't know, I've been watching WandaVision, which has been a lot of fun. I think that's a pretty solid show. You know the drill. Thanks. Ow, frick. Thank you for the prime. Should I watch WandaVision? Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's it's easily the most interesting thing Marvel, the MCU, has ever put out. Good cast. It's great because you realize how much they wasted Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany in the MCU movies. Especially Paul Bettany. I mean, actually, no. Especially both of them. It's not especially. They're both great. I just am more familiar with Bettany, I guess, because of Knight's Tale and stuff like that. They waste a lot of characters and actors. True. I mean, I think the people that they really did a good job of showing range with, obviously, Downey Jr., they did a great job with. I think they did great with Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans was a really good Cap. But yeah, I mean, a lot of talented actors and characters just are kind of there because it's the most ambitious crossover ever. But no, they're great. They bring a lot of new elements to the characters. They're just funny. They're just so likable. Definitely worth watching. All right, I'm not really digging this song anymore. Lana should have a bigger role in Civil War. Should have been her film. Yeah. That's kind of what you think it's going to be for a little while. But then no. I liked Age of Ultron, yeah. It was alright. But yeah, Mitch, I would say WandaVision's worthwhile. It's the most interesting thing I've seen them put out for a good time. I don't know. It's way different, but it kind of reminds me of Watchmen, the Watchmen reboot, or not really reboot, but sequel, I guess, the Watchmen show. It's different. Obviously, it's way different. I listen to lo-fi a lot when streaming, yeah. But just in some of the weird stuff they do and the weird stuff they're willing to do and the small character moments of like super powerful people that they're willing to explore, it's fun. Yeah, you don't need to know a whole lot, which is good too. I think it does a good job of explaining itself in general. But yeah. Anywho. Chat, we have some programming to talk about. When I say programming, I mean my schedule for the next couple weeks. Tuesday, I don't know what I'm doing yet. maybe I'll use Tuesday to start, because I was going to do it today, but I don't think I'm going to have time, because I'm going to probably go eat dinner soon. But Tuesday, I'd like to maybe go over some songs that we could put in the next bracket. That'd be fun. Sunday is obviously going to be Hollow Knight Sunday. Thursday, I'm planning on racing against Wizawuticus. Maybe movie for, yeah, we could. I mean, Tuesday will be our just chat. I mean, obviously we ended up doing today as a just chatting day. Tuesday we'll find some structure to our just chatting, a little more structure. But I mean, this ended up being good, reflecting on the direct. You know, ended up having plenty to talk about. But yeah, we'll think of something for Tuesday. Sunday, obviously Hollow Knight Sunday. Tuesday we'll be doing some just chatting, maybe talk about songs that could go in our bracket. Thursday will be a speedrun race. And Saturday will... Alright, we're not going to have Hollow Knight Sunday on the 28th. Okay? just because I'm not going to stream twice in the same weekend, because Saturday is my birthday, chat. And we're going to have a birthday bash on the 27th. So not this Saturday, but the following one. I'll be streaming on my birthday starting at 2. We'll call in the Raz's Ancient Committee. Celebrate. I have some ideas. Maybe we'll play Hollow Knight. May you know, if we get through some of my stuff, we'll play Hollow Knight after. It'll be Hollow Knight birthday. But before then, we'll I have a tier list idea, chat. I have a tier list idea, which is a tier list of every year of my life so far, 1 through 30, ranking them all, seeing which is S and which is F. So we'll do that on my birthday, ranking all my birthdays. That'll be how we ring in 30, chat. That'll be the content, baby. No S's. I hope there's at least one S. That's a good question. I'll think about it. Maybe both. What do you think's better, ranking birthdays or ranking years of your life? I guess it'll be ranking birthdays. But obviously the prior year will influence that birthday. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It'll be dumb and fun. We'll have a good time with it. So yeah, that's the shit. Hollow Knight Sunday will be this Sunday at 2. Hangout on Tuesday. Race with Steve on Thursday. And then the following Saturday will be birthday stream. So should be a fun week of shit. Also, I'm working on a video that's going to be coming out that's going to be a little different than my other stuff, but I hope all of you will enjoy it. I think it'll be a very exciting thing, very hype video. And I got a lot of ideas for March of moving forward. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how stuff goes. As for now, though, I should get going. I should go eat, because I'm fucking starving. If I'm being honest with you, chat. I am very hungry because I have not eaten much today. I had a bagel. Eating is important. Yeah, eating is important. All right, not a lot of people I know streaming right now. I will do a raid. I'm gonna raid Barry Kramer. He's playing Bowser's Fury, so watch him play that for a bit and then be like, oh fuck, this is actually a really good game. I should play it. I should get it. But yeah, I'll see you Sunday. Chat, Sunday, I get to apply for partner again. Do you think we can do it this time? Do you think Twitch will like me this time? Make sure to put a good word in for me on Twitch. Anyway, I'll see you on Sunday for Hollow Knight Sunday, and I hope you have a great day and or night. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye.